Hey everyone, my name is Wedge, and yeah, it's that time again. The Manosaurus has received an exclusive Conspiracy Take the Crown preview card. I know, I'm excited too. So without further ado, it's time to enjoy some amazing reprint goodness. So cool. Exotic Orchard is a land card. Tap, add to your mana pool 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Friggin' awesome reprint. You might recognize Exotic Orchard. It's been printed twice before, once in Conflux and then again in Planechase 2012. Conspiracy is the perfect fit for this card. Remember, this entire set is about multiplayer drafting. When you draft this card, expect to be against 2 to 3 opponents. Obviously, the more opponents you have, the more opportunity you have to use Exotic Orchard to its fullest potential. Remember, this can add any color that any land an opponent controls could produce. In a multiplayer environment, worst case scenario, you'll be able to add some color to your mana pool. This may seem lackluster, but there is a very specific use for Exotic Orchard outside of Conspiracy Draft. Let me explain. Exotic Orchard is designed to be played in Commander, but it's designed to be played in specific strategies, namely 5-color decks. That's right. When you run Exotic Orchard, you want your commander to be Scion of the Ur-Dragon. Any of the Sliver Commanders, Horde of Notions, General Tazri. I could do this forever. Reaper King, Corona, Child of Alara, Progenitus. Seriously, 5-color commanders. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, but Wedge, I'm against 3 other players in Commander usually. Why can't I just use Exotic Orchard with any commander and take whatever mana I can get? Yeah, this is where things get complicated. Notice Exotic Orchard uses the word produce. Not many cards use that word specifically. Something you need to know about Commander. Before this past January, if you had, let's say, a City of Brass in play and your commander was the old Marchesa, you couldn't use City of Brass to add white mana. It wasn't in your commander's color identity, so it would be replaced with colorless mana, and that would be added instead. Before this past January, Exotic Orchard checked the mana that could be produced as in actually used. If you had an Exotic Orchard and your opponent playing Marchesa had a City of Brass, your Exotic Orchard could tap for blue, red, or black, because those are the colors your opponent could produce. Exotic Orchard doesn't care what the land can tap for, it cares what the land produces. So why am I telling you all this? As of January 2016, the mana generation restriction in Commander is no more. This means that while you can still only include mana symbols in your deck that match your commander's color identity, if you control a card like City of Brass, you can tap it for any color you want. Marchesa can tap for white, green, whatever the heck she wants. This was a huge buff to Exotic Orchard. Now you're not restricted to what your opponent's color identity is, at least not as much. They run Vivid Lands? Sweet. City of Brass? Awesome. Anything that produces any color of mana? Great. Perfect. It doesn't even matter if the card has an additional cost to it. Exotic Orchard doesn't give a crap. All the card cares about is the ability to produce. With the removal of the mana generation restriction, Exotic Orchard is much more flexible. Remember that list of commanders I showed you earlier, the 5-color ones? We can add to that now. Centriplets becomes the Orchard's best friend. Zedru, Marchesa, as mentioned before. Maelstrom Wanderer is a great friend. You see what's happening here? Thanks to this insane commander update, Exotic Orchard is so much more flexible and so much more powerful in that format. If you're playing multiplayer Commander and you know your opponents aren't running Karn Silver Golem, Exotic Orchard is going to give you so much value. What do you think? Do you like Exotic Orchard's inclusion in Conspiracy? Personally, I think it's a perfect fit. Just like Reflecting Pool the first time around, great multiplayer land card. Certainly a staple in thousands of Commander strategies, perfect for the set. So please let me know where you run Exotic Orchard or where you plan on running it now that it's getting a sweet new reprint. Finally, I want to thank all of you for watching the channel, because without you, we wouldn't be getting these preview cards. Also, big thanks to Wizards of the Coast for including us in their preview season. Always means a lot. Be sure to tune in the rest of the week for more Conspiracy preview goodness and a lot more. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Conspiracy spoiler information you could ever need. This is the Manosaurus, I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.